Yo, what's going on? Tune into another episode of Not the Average Local Rapper, hosted by yours truly, Short Rich. This episode, I'm gonna talk about something that I say I address it pretty often. I think I got a video on YouTube talking about it from when I first set my YouTube shit up. I think I made post about it on Instagram and shit. But basically, I want to basically just make this episode about like older rappers. And maybe I'll probably end up doing another episode about younger rappers and shit. But this episode I want to focus on like what the industry and what society considers to be like older rappers, and just kind of talk about that, because it is like a it's like a I don't want to say it's controversial, but I guess it's just kind of one of them things that like it can be comedy, it can be it can be I don't even know if I want to say hate, because hate is a strong word, but like people can just say negative things about it, but I mean honestly I feel like I would consider myself to be an older rapper now. But I think it all just depends on how you look at it. And I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I don't even really think age really matters in this day and time, especially, with the way things is going. Like, the age thing or any other contributing factors, it just don't really matter anymore. Like anybody can do it. But I mean, I guess the first thing would be like, what age are you considered to be an old rapper? I don't even really know if there's a certain age. I mean, I think once you get into the 30s, I think it's definitely, like in the conversation. But I don't know, like it, cause it's like it's different things that can kind of factor in, like how you look. Once you get to a certain age, it's definitely part of it. Like just your overall like style, swag, if you will. Like like the way you dress and like present yourself. Like age are definitely showing that. Motherfuckers be dressing like they come from a certain time. Shit, even myself, man. Like a lot of the stuff I wear, what I mean? It's just like all based on like the time I grew up in, like, by jerseys and hats and shit like that, like shit, I still be out here dressing like it's, 2003 and shit, you know what I mean? But it's just, it's all about just like how you present yourself for real. But like I would definitely say like once you start getting like the 30s, especially like the mid late 30s, like and then just up from there. And then but I mean when it come down to that though, I mean I think it's like it's a couple different types of older rappers though. Like you got the ones that I think just kind of like they know they age but they still enjoy what they do, and age will never play a factor. But it's like like I guess you have some artists that can just like grow, or excuse me, they music will grow as they grow in life. You know what I mean? And I'm one of them artists. I would like to say, I think I try to like make music that reflect like the stage I'm in. You know what I mean? In life. But you got some older rappers that still want to make like what they call like the younger type music. I ain't gonna lie, man, it be wild, scrolling down Instagram and seeing like cats that was like in they 30s, like possibly they 40s, and they still doing wild shit, rolling blunts and liquor bottles and guns and stacks of money in the videos. And it's like, man, like, he ready to be somebody's grandfather out here. If not already, is one. But I mean, if that's how your life is, at that age, and I guess like you got to be true to yourself. But it's just wild, man. Cause one thing about being older is like you know you you in a position where like you can kind of influence the younger ones because you already been around, and if you have like a reputation with younger artists or they know who you are, like you can use that to your advantage to try to plant the right seeds and push them in the right direction. Not saying that you gotta change what they rap about, because people gonna make music about what they want to make music about, whether it's real to their life or not. I mean, it's just it's all entertainment at the end of the day, whether it's authentic or not. But I already had that episode about authenticity. But I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, but that's just a life though. You got older, like not just rappers, but you got people that are a certain age that just don't want to let go of their youth and let go of them young years. So they build their life around trying to live that. And it's the same thing with rappers and their music. I don't really like to use names as examples and like shit like that, but I mean, it's rappers in the industry, famous rappers that's in their 40s, but they still, making the music that the 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds, be fucking with, because that's the type of shit they living now. But it's one I'm thinking of in particular. I know my man is definitely in his 40s, but he's still, on the young boy shit, but it's working for him though. But I mean, it's all about what's relevant to you, I guess. Like, I mean, like I said, you got people that can just fall into whatever's going on in their life at the moment and make music about that. Like, it's some real creative shit, man. You got like these like dad rappers out here. They rap about being a dad, or you got cats that rap about their occupation. You might hear me say some lines in my songs about being on a forklift and shit. It's just like, above being a rapper, you a person, male or female. You know what I mean? So it's like you don't want to get so far in the music that you get away from the person that you are. People can relate and connect with you just being your authentic self in your music. It don't always got to be about making a hit song or making some shit somebody can party to. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just gotta connect with people on some real shit. But and I think that just kind of like plays into the advantage of being an older rapper. It's like lived enough life to where like you can really come from so many angles with your music. By the time you get a certain age, you done lived, like I said, enough life, in certain aspects, whether it be like your love life, or you may have a family life now, like kids and shit like that, a spouse. If you was fortunate enough, like you may have traveled enough, or been to enough places and done enough things, and it's just it's definitely more things to be talked about, when you older and you didn't live more life, but that's all like on how you making music though. Like I was just saying a minute ago, some older rappers don't even think to use that type of direction. They rather just try to make the hits that they think the young people want to hear. But I don't know. I guess my whole thing with that, I gotta like, take it back to that. It's like, man, like, you think you sound cool, like, because you're talking about the same shit that the younger guys is talking about, but it's like, really, you just sound like an old motherfucker that's trying to be cool like them. Like, that's how they looking at you, like, shit, that's how us older cats that ain't on that is looking at you. But hey, man, as long as you know you can listen to your shit and look at yourself in the mirror, man. It ain't up to me what anybody do for real. But like I said though, the advantages of being an older artist, and then it's like not just you done been through more life. It's like you just like if you've been doing music a long time, like through all of those years, as you approach like a certain age, it's like you know enough about music too for real. It's like I've been doing music since like probably like I think I started recording like maybe a little bit before I graduated high school, like my senior year, probably like right before I graduated is when I started kind of like writing and freestyling and stuff like that. So about 20, almost 21 years ago. So in that time, like, and I say so if I started writing and freestyling, just getting familiar with being on beats when I was probably like 17, going on 18. I would say by the time I was 19, 20, I had already hit the ground running with that shit. At 21 is when I got my first song on the radio. And then another song that on a different radio station that following summer. I had already started doing shows, had already started traveling a little bit. So, it's like, so just think, if I had already done that within like the first 5 years of me doing music, then think, I done did 5 years times four, So it's like, you just do a lot, with the music, and this is just me on my level. You got cats, that have done way more, in a shorter time. So I mean, but I ain't really one, to compare another person's journey to mine. I can only, attest to mine. But yeah, man, it's just, those are like pretty much like the advantages of being an older rapper, man. It's like, and then it's like it's a lane for older rappers, man. Like, you got older people that like rap music, but they just can't get with the younger the younger music, So it's like, and now like shit. I say since about I don't know. I say since about 2019, 2020, like the boom bap in the '90s sound is like really, what I mean, been making a big wave and shit. Like, and it's a whole lane and a whole community and a whole fan base for that shit. For anybody who can really like kind of bring back that nostalgic sound, like not to toot my own horn, but like myself. And I peeped it, man. I peeped that shit, man. I'm like, oh man, like cause once upon a time I was getting on like the trap influence beats and the 808s and club bangers and all that type of shit. But that was when I was younger and I was actually living that shit. So it was like, for me, I think everything just rolled out real smooth. And anybody in my age range, I just feel like, man, we had a time where we fell in line with all that shit that was going on in like the mid 2000s and like the 2010s and all that shit. But now it's like what was like popular in the '90s as far as like a certain type of sound. That shit is coming back 30 years later. And like I said, it's a whole lane for it. So I mean, it's definitely like a big advantage. If you bring in that type of sound, but with all the advantages I named, definitely some disadvantages, to being an older rapper. I mean, music and everything, entertainment is just so social media driven. It's so internet driven. It's like I know it's probably other people my age and a little older that are like myself, and I tend to struggle, with social media sometimes because it's like I just don't want to have a bunch of interaction through my phone screen. Like I just don't, really see a whole lot genuine about that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I met some really good people, through the internet and through social media, but it's like you can only go so far with that shit, and it's like that's a hard that's a hard thing to adapt to, when you used to things being a certain way or in favor of them always being that way, but it's just not the reality of it. So it's like like if you can't adapt to like what's going on, then like you might as well just hang it because you gotta move with the times. Like you just have to. So like that could definitely be a struggle for like a older artist. Because I've heard older artists and producers, like I've had them conversations like, man, it's like it's real hard to get with a lot of this shit now, man, because we in competition with these younger people that like really do this shit that's going on now because this is all they know. Like this ain't all we know. Like we remember when times was different, and it was a whole different approach. So, but if you really want shit, then you do have to adapt, and it ain't about what you prefer to do. It's about the preferred method all around, So, um, another disadvantage, man. Like I joked about it. When I was younger, and said I would never, be this, and I don't know, man. Like it's just funny, how much I used to, joke the older cats, that rapped and shit, and not on no, not on no, they shouldn't be, but more so like they can't keep up with like the young ones, and that's not the case as far as like on the mic and actually making music. Like it's a lot of older cats out here that's gonna smoke these young dudes on the mic, and I'm one of them. But man, when it come down to actually doing this shit outside of the recording the music, man, like and when it's time like the when it's time to go do shows and be out and do a lot of this shit that it require, like man, like age will really kick in. Like last year, when I went to Toronto to perform, it was about this time last year, almost a year ago. So um, I pretty much did it on a whim, and I don't regret doing it. You know what I mean? It was dope. I would do it again if the opportunity presented itself, and it was worth it. And that's wherever. You know what I mean? But man, I say this though, man. Prior to performing last year, I don't think I had performed probably since like my mid 20s. I say. So well over 10 years, and man, boy, being out in them clubs and them venues and them bars at a certain hour, and just being around a lot of people, and like when you get older, you're like your body ain't the same no more. Them aches and pains start kicking in, man. Let me tell you, man. I was in there waiting to go up there and perform because they had it like lined out, like lined up, like the lineup with like numbers. So you just pick a number and that's the order was going in. So I picked like 20. I remember if I remember correctly, I think I picked 21 one night, and then I picked 22 another night, and then I picked 23 the third night. As a the the sequence to perform in. So those was the number of slots that I had. So like 20 something artists in, man, shit, like that takes some time. So, I'm just sitting there and it's 10:30. It's 11. It's 11:30 and I'm just like, shit, man, back on been in bed by now, man. I'm in here in the club waiting to get up here and perform. I've been standing up, back hurting and shit, feet hurting, and I'm just like, damn, I'm yawning and shit in the club. Like, this shit's wild, Joe. But, I mean, not all cats my age is, living that old head life, but I do, man. So for me to jump out there and do that, man, I don't think I fully thought that through, man. But like I said, I don't regret doing it. You know what I mean? It was cool. I would do it again, like if I ever get the opportunity to perform in any city. But definitely shout out to Toronto, man. They what I mean, they was definitely lit out there, but man, Big Unk was struggling out there though, man. I don't know if they saw it, but I tried to get up there, do my thing a little bit when I perform, but I'm like, shit, man, I done yawned about 37 times ahead, man. But I mean, other than that though, man, I don't really see too many disadvantages. I mean, like, like I said, of course you're gonna deal with the negative comments and all that shit, but all in all, I just don't really think age matters anymore. Like, not in this day and time, like, it's really old grandmothers and grandfathers out here rapping and, little young kids and just everything in between. So I think it's just about connecting with people no matter what age you are. And whatever age you are, whatever type of music you make, better yet. Because like I've said, you got the older cats that make like the younger type music, and then you got the younger cats that make music that will probably connect with older people. So I think it's just about finding your audience, like all in all. And that don't really have like a age. It's not really an age thing, man. It's just about who connects with you. But to all the older rappers out there, 35 and up, shit like that. I said it once, I probably said it more than once, but I'll say it again. Like, it's our time to shine. Like, not just rappers, but producers or whatever it is you do. Like, it's our time to shine. Like, it ain't no more you outgrew it, or like your time is up, or it ain't no more of that. I don't even know if it really ever was, but I just know it definitely ain't now. Me at 38 years old, I don't plan on stopping no time soon. And I don't think anybody should ever think about stop doing something they love. Like, it just shouldn't be an option, like there's no age when it comes to that. And I just I think it all is it's all the same, no matter what age you are, no matter what type of music you making, you just gotta find your lane and find your audience and get the people to connect with you, and you'll be alright. Young, old. But like I said, I might, do something to, talk to the younger ones, because once upon a time I was a younger artist, and I do remember a lot of the things that I've learned over the years that will probably, possibly, potentially connect with younger artists. But I did this one for the old heads, man. Like I said, we we can really shake the game. You know, we just gotta. It's all about just having the right strategy for yourself as an artist. Once again, no matter what your age is, I just really, all in all, I don't think that shit matters. I never really did. Um, Cause even like I said, when I was younger and I used to joke about cats, being older and still rapping, like it was never on some you should stop. I don't ever feel like anybody should stop rapping unless you just really causing problems for yourself and the others around you. Then maybe you should take up another hobby or something. But it's, I just don't think there's no age limit or any type of shit like that. It's just about finding yourself as an artist and finding your audience, like I said. So yeah, just keep going to all the older artists out there. Be the example that you wanted or probably needed more so when you were a younger artist coming up. Be that provider of knowledge and be that motivator. You know what I mean? It don't have to be oh, I can't get with you young motherfuckers. It ain't gotta be that, man. Like you could be the influence and it could come back to you in a way that you may not ever expect it. So, we just gotta bridge that gap. But to all my oldest artists out there, man, salute. Keep doing what you doing. I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and we're gonna, represent for our our sound, our time. You know what I mean? And on that note, this has been another episode of Not the Average Local Rapper, hosted by yours truly, Eshore Ridge. If you made it to this point, man, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Appreciate you.